day 8 of Dr. Tim's fishless cycling on my red Sea Max Nano. This channel is all about how hard it really is to set up a coral reef in your own home. As a complete novice, I've not even had a goldfish, and you are joining me on this journey. Can I say a huge thank you to everybody's supportive comments in our 100 subs video, which we hit only 2 days ago. Thank you for all your kind comments. Really appreciate you joining us on this journey to try and get this red Sea Max Nano looking absolutely stunning in this office. So let me give you an heads up of where we are at the moment. So we've had a bit of an ammonia spike. I'm using the Dr. Tim's Fishless Cycling. We're using the ammonium chloride. There we go. I've dosed it twice at the moment. So I've dosed over 120 drops of the ammonia, and from days 4 to 7 we've seen a huge spike in ammonia. Unfortunately, the nitrites haven't spiked. They've remained around 0.05 to 0.1. So I don't know what Dr. Tim's put in his bottles, but I think even shaking them up, they're still fast asleep in here, not doing their work yet. They're a little bit lazy, these nitrifying bacteria. Come on, we want to get some fish in here, we want to get some corals in here. Wake up. One of the other things we've been doing is I've had the curtains shut all day and every day, apart from obviously in this video, just so you can see the tank. There you go. We're treating you there too, so you can see the tank. So we've been having the curtains shut, trying to keep it as dark as possible, trying keeping the algae to a minimum. We don't want any algae, even though one thing I have noticed is, let me just show you this, there is some change of colour of the rocks. They've gone like a grey, greeny colour, and I don't know, but there appears maybe to be a little bit of hair algae growing. I don't know if that is hair algae. In the comments, if you can let me know if that's hair algae, those little strands that are kind of wavering in the waves, I'd love to know. Also, thank you to Michael Capriotti, who's told me to crank up the temperature on Dr. Tim's, so now we're running at 27.4 degrees. Wow, wow, wow. My heating bill is going to cost me a fortune now. But apparently when you're cycling with Dr. Tim's, you've got to turn up the heat. Maybe that makes the bacteria sweat a little bit and wakes them up, because mine are absolutely fast asleep. But thank you, Michael Ciprioti, for that. Also, we're having problems with condensation on the windows. I've opened the windows just to let a little bit of fresh air in whilst I'm filming this video. But goodness knows what the neighbours will think that's going on in this room, because at night it looks completely condensated up. And anyway, that's what's happening. What else is happening is I've put 2 bottles of Dr. Tim's nitrifying bacteria in the hope that they will all come to life and have a little party in the tank and start breaking down that ammonia, so that we can start to get the cycle going. So I've talked about the discoloration of the rocks. The water is still a little bit cloudy, but big news today, or yesterday, we turned on the skimmer. So for the very first time, according to BRS TV, keep the skimmer off for about 3 to 5 days. I've kept it off about 5 or 6 days actually, but we turned the skimmer on. Quite noisy for the first 5 or 6 hours, just because of the amount of air that was trapped in the pump and things. But it's yeah, it's quite impressive, very clean. And I'll show you a little bit of what I've skimmed. So we turned the skimmer on about 12 hours ago, and one thing I have noticed is there's so much more air bubbles within the water column and on the return pump. I don't know if you can see that. So obviously the skimmer is aerating the water. So let's have a little look after 12 hours, see what we've got in store, see what gifts we've got in here. Wow, it's very, very full. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to empty this out and let's have a look what we've caught. So the skimmer cup is absolutely full to the brim. I'm just going to empty it out and see what we've got. If anything, no. Very, very clean. Oh, there is a little bit of detritus at the bottom there. So we have cleaned a little bit of something out, but yeah, 12 hours of skimming, pretty clean. Okay, skimmer cup going back on. Look at that frothy mess. I don't know if that's too much, I don't know if I'm skimming too much, I need to perhaps turn it down, but anyway, skimmer cup going back on. There we go, that was relatively clean. No smells, no odours. Let's just put the baffle down a little bit further. Okay, see what happens in the next 24 hours. So what do you think to the skimmer? It's a little bit keen, isn't it? I've had to empty it after 12 hours. Do I need to make the baffle lower or higher? Do I need to put a bit more air intake? This seems like a very fine balance. So in the comments, please give me your feedback. We'll really appreciate that. So what we've done with the cycling so far, we've kept the lights off constantly throughout the cycle. We've had the curtains shut, trying to keep it as dark as possible to prevent any algae bloom. And we've also dropped our salinity to 1.024, so I'm trying to do everything I can to get this cycle going, but what I've heard is a bit of patience, which is not my forte. So I'm trying to find my fix of coral reef and fishing from elsewhere. So I've been watching Aqua Splendor on YouTube. He's got an amazing nano tank, so I'll just keep watching his videos and hoping that mine will look like one day. And also I keep visiting the local fish store just to look at their coral reef and just think, oh, that could be mine in 6 months, a year's time. Just keeping me motivated and keeping me sticking in there. So let's have a little look at today's parameters then on day 8. And see where we are. So we'll have to get you off the stand. We're going to start with the salinity. Here we go. So I'll try and do this one-handed. Let's have a look at our salinity today. It should be around 1.024. I don't know if you see it. There. 1.025. It's settled at 1.025 on the salinity. Let's have a quick check at the pH. For Dr. Tim's pH, it needs to be around about 8 is the ideal. So let's have a little look. Let's see where we are with the pH. 8.07. pH is going up. That looks pretty healthy, so that's good. Maybe there is some action there. So to check our alkalinity, we're going to use the Hana Alkalinity Checker, and we've also got on this side some Amazon sunglass cleaners to wipe the vials over for more accurate testing. Apparently when you do a bacteria boost, which is what I've done, I've put 2 lots of Dr. Tim's in there. Bacteria, the nitrite bacteria, will absorb and use some of the alkalinity in the water. So it's important that when you're cycling, you also test for alkalinity. Saw that on Paul UK Reefers video, and I've also seen it on the BRS TV. So we're going to steal 10 mils from, let's just get this one out here, 10 mils from the tank. We're going to use a syringe for accuracy. So here we go. Just dip that in. Hope you're getting this on the video. Yeah. Right, okay, there is 10 mils of tank water. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, put the vial cap on, wipe the vial over with the sunglass cleaner, and check our Hana checker. Press on, and C1. So when it says C1, we put the vial in there, close the vial, and then press the button. And it's thinking about doing something at the moment. Okay, C2, it's ready for C2, which is 1 milliliter of the alkalinity fluid. So we're going to be careful. We've got the syringe. Carefully remove the vial. And let's extract 1 millimeter of the fluid without any air bubbles. A little bit higher. There we go. Hope you can see that. 1 mil. Wipe the edge for any residue, and that's going to go into our vial. There we go. Done. Vial cap back on. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little shakes. Dust it down. And then put it back in the Hana checker. Close the lid. And we're hoping for a number between 8 and 9, sorry. 8 and 9. Let's have a little look. 8.9. Well, that's pretty good. Alkalinity is high, despite having that bacteria boost. Right, let's look at the other parameters downstairs. We're going to check the ammonia and we're going to check the nitrite. Here we go. Time is up. Let's have a little look at the ammonia. That has gone down a tiny bit. I would still say it's around about 2, maybe just below 2. That bacteria really needs to get to work pretty quickly. On this side we've got our nitrite. Again, it's about, looks like 0.01 stabilised nitrite. Okay, let's go upstairs and plug that back into the aquarium dashboard. So we've plugged day 8 parameters into my Excel spreadsheet. Who doesn't love an Excel spreadsheet? It's Jay's Real Reef UK spreadsheet, and here is day 8 of Dr. Tim's Fishless cycling. So without sounding like the football scores on a Saturday at 5 PM, here we go. The temperature is 27.3, pH is 8.07, ammonia 1.8 parts per million, nitrate 0.1 parts per million, alkalinity is 8.9 dkh, salinity is 1.025. So in the comments below, are those healthy parameters for Dr. Tim's day 8 of Fishless cycling? Am I any nearer to getting some fish and corals in the Red Sea Max Nano? Also, on Saturday in the UK, we put the clocks back by an hour. I don't know if that set me back by an hour in terms of cycling. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get things up and running. Thank you to all your comments on every video. Really appreciate the guidance that you've given me. Also, thank you to Ollie Humphreys, who's said I needed some plastic cups in my cupboard. So I've ordered some plastic cups there on the way, ready to feed some frozen mysis when we get some life in there. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like, or even better, subscribe and hit the notification bell, because when we get to 200 subscribers, we are going to give one lucky subscriber a free Hannah checker of their choice. And that Hannah Alkalinity checker was an absolute godsend. It saves so much more time. Also, I'm looking to buy an aquarium lid. I'd love your advice on aquarium lids. If you've got one, tell me what you think of it. My shortlist so far is a D&D Jump Red Sea lid. Also, the clear view lids from the United States, and or Reef tops on Facebook. So if you can give me in the comments which ones you prefer out of those, that'd be really good. Now, I've got to go pumpkin picking with my family, so I'm going to see you in the next video, give you an update on the cycling. But for now, you take care. Bye.